bring you some other news now, but staying in the country's courts. The man accused of Uyinene Mrwetyana's rape and murder made a brief appearance in the Wynberg Magistrates Court in Cape Town just a short while ago. The UCT student, you'll remember, disappeared on the 24th of August. Her burnt body was found in a shallow grave a few days later. This is the NPA now briefing the media on the case. Let's take you there live and listen in.
We identify child murders, so we review the deaths of children that went through the mortuaries a month before. We sit with our pathologists, we sit with pediatricians from Red Cross, etc. And we identify child murders as early as that. Those matters come straight to our office. Some of them are prosecuted in the lower court, but the bulk of them are actually prosecuted in the high court. And you've seen the conviction rates. They are very high because of the expertise put behind our child murders.
So the message that we want to send to society is one, that these cases will get all the necessary attention. We will throw all our resources at them. We will ensure that the vacancies of the prosecution are filled. And there is currently a move, as we speak, that posts have been advertised. So we want to capacitate the prosecution correctly, and we want to ensure that the expertise that we need to deal with certain types of crimes, like crimes against violence against women and children, organized crime, and all other serious crimes are dealt with by very senior prosecutors. In order to do that, we must ensure that our other posts are filled, and so that we can allow the experienced people to deal with the more difficult and challenging cases. And that is the approach. The message to society is really that it's not business as usual. We want to turn this around, and we want to ensure that the crime rates come down. That's the ultimate objective, that we stop crime from being committed in our communities. The prosecution will do everything in its power with civil society, with partners, with the police, to ensure that we play our role to try and address the crime that we are seeing in the country at the moment.
So I just had one last question linked to that. Where are your vacancies, and do some of them lie at that high level, those vacant posts?
Yes. We don't have many vacancies at the higher level in my office. There are some, but it's probably in the region of about 16% of the prosecutorial posts. We are currently filling those vacancies, and then we have vacancies in our lower courts, in those ranks, and we are filling those posts as we speak as well. So there's a process. Hopefully by January, the end of January, all the recommendations for appointments to those posts would have been made. The adverts have been sent out, and applications have already been received at my office by various lawyers and prosecutors internally. Some of it will be promotion posts, and in some instances we'll be taking lawyers from outside of the prosecution to join the prosecution as well. So that is the strategy, to resource, capacitate, and then to ensure that the cases get the necessary attention by senior people. Yes.
One more. Advocate, you spoke of the high volume of in your court role, especially involving the killing of women and children. Can you be able to give us an idea how big is that court role? How many are you dealing with right now that are in your court role?
Yeah, look, when I spoke about volumes of cases, I'm talking generally on our court rolls. As you know, you've just been in a court now, and you see that the court is full, which means that there are cases on that court roll today. And every day there are so many cases, which is an indication of the extent of crime in the country. As far as the gender-based violence and sexual offences, there are dedicated courts to deal with gender-based violence and sexual offences. So we've got a separate way to deal with those matters. I think that's a very important thing, and it's also focused around the victims. It's focused around the victims, and it's linked to our Tutuzela care centres, where victims of sexual violence can access services. And so it starts there, and then it comes to dedicated sexual offences courts. So in Wynberg, for example, there are dedicated sexual offences courts. So all those cases are then on those court rolls. As to the exact numbers, I cannot give it to you now offhand, but the total amount of cases currently on our court rolls in the province is in the region of about 35,000 cases that are in the on the court rolls in the province. But that are all cases, not just the serious cases. So the normal thefts, the normal shoplifting cases are all included, and that's the bulk of the cases that we have in the province.
Can we just get the clarification of the spelling of the name, please, ma'am?
CURRIE-GAMWO.
I assume those were the last questions. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.